Come on, lady. Come on, lady. Come on.
Welcome to Birmingham, my hometown. A city of 800,000 souls. Second city of the 5th richest country in the world. There is a sickness here. That sickness is poverty. It's visible and invisible. Never before have the good people of Birmingham had to resort to food banks. Never before have there been so many rough sleepers on our high streets. Questions arise. Who are they? Why are they homeless? Are they lazy? Isn't the council taking care of them? There are many myths about the homeless. Are they true? Our story begins in the summer of 2018. The days are warm and the living is good. Well, not so bad anyway. In 1930s depressed New York, it was like this. In 2018 Birmingham, it's like this.
Hi, my name is Randy Singh. I'm the CEO of Midland Lanka Seva Society, which is a charity organisation that provides hot meals throughout the UK to the homeless and the less fortunate than ourselves. We started off from providing 15 meals in 2013, and today we're doing approximately between 19 and 20,000 a week. I think there's so many homeless. One of the reasons why I think there's a lot of homeless is the cuts on benefits and job losses. Generally, a lot of people just cannot afford to live in accommodations, afford to pay rent and wherever. Yes, 2013 when we set up in Birmingham, we used to get about 35 to 40 people a night. And today, we're doing about between 150 and 200 people a night, so the numbers have drastically gone up. There's a lot of help needed for mental health. A lot of vulnerable people out there, they don't know what benefits are available. A lot of people are not in a fit state to be on the streets. Schizophrenia, we've had people, 1 minute they're okay and the other minute they've just snapped. And Mamba also is a problem, but I wouldn't say all our service users. Out of our service users, each night I'll probably say about 5-6 people that got a Mamba addiction. But in general, there's a lot of lonely people out there, got no families. Especially they feel it around Christmas time. They got no families. They walk around the street. We get families that come out to take food home for their children because they're not getting enough money from the government to provide for the children. I mean, school holidays. We actually, believe it or not, we provide breakfast to some schools as well. We set up a MLSS breakfast club about 2 years ago. We started off from 2 schools, and we're doing about 19 schools now throughout the Midlands. There's poverty everywhere. Some of the children from the age of 5 have gone to school without breakfast, so they're not concentrating. The behaviour is no good. They're falling asleep in class. And last year, one of these schools did a survey, and the change just from toast and jam made a lot of difference. So from then we thought, well, we're going to approach other schools, and there is a problem all over the country.
Hello, my name's Claire and I'm the founder of Helping Hands of Birmingham, and we give clothes and foods to the homeless and the vulnerable and the needy on the streets of Birmingham. I wanted to help people that was less fortunate than myself, and I researched, I looked at food banks, I looked at working with the homeless, I looked at numerous things, and homeless was where I wanted to go, where I wanted to help. I've been volunteering and feeding the homeless for around 2 years now. We're not just about giving them food, giving them toiletries, shoes, drinks, whatever they need. We're also a friendly ear, because how many people stop and talk to a homeless person and they're still a soul, they're still a human being, they still have feelings.
Louise. I've lived in Birmingham all of my life. I lost my home because I couldn't afford to live in a 3-bedroom house by myself. So I ended up in a hostel, and hostel to hostel, shared accommodations, and now I've ended up on the street. 3 months now. I'm hoping to be off the streets before the winter comes. Me and my girlfriend had a tent, and the council have came and removed all our stuff today. All our sleeping bags, our tent, our clothes. All I have is what I'm standing in. Find a doorway to sleep in.
Nothing on camera.
Yeah. What I might need, but we'll have a hot drink, please.
Tea, coffee?
Coffee, please.
Yeah, I'm local. Been in the area all my life. Lived in Brighton and I moved back up here. So yeah, I've been here all my life. No help whatsoever. The only help I've had, I got put in a hostel, and that's it. Housing haven't helped. So yeah. No job training. Thank you. I've only what probation offered, like something my CSCS card, but I've already got my CSCS card. It permits you to work on building sites, and a forklift licence as well. You can get a forklift licence through that, but that's the only thing I know really. 1 year. It's probably still here. It's probably still on the streets, unfortunately. Someone to give me a chance. Someone to give me a job without, because in order to work you need an address, and I don't agree with that. I know people who are homeless and have got work, so why can't I do that? I don't know. It's different. They're down in Brighton. They're homeless in Brighton, and they've managed to find work. But up here, I can't do it up here. Oh, he fucking froze to death last year. I didn't know him. I said hello to him and that, but yeah, didn't know him personally. And got a light.
Generally speaking, many people that are begging are trying to get enough money for what they need through the day, and hopefully enough to get themselves into a bed and breakfast for the night. That is kind of a fairly normal pattern. If they don't get enough for that, they're sleeping rough.
This is where my brother was found. December the 17th of 2017, Paul was found here by the security guards from the Bullwing. They came round. He was snuggled in between 2 of his friends, but Paul wasn't breathing. They reckon he'd passed away at about 4 AM in the morning due to high alcohol levels in his bloodstream and the severe cold. It was -8 on the night, and it was the only fact that they were snuggled together that they should have potentially stayed alive.
Absolutely, we have people dying on the streets every year. The main reason for that is usually either drugs or freezing cold weather, and a cocktail of the two of them. Those are in winter, most of us who work within this sector are fearful of finding out through the grapevine or on the news that another one of our rough sleepers has passed away.
Yeah, my name's Yvette, because I'm 32 now, and then at the age of 3, my dad passed away. He had alcohol issues. My mum couldn't really cope because she had mental health issues, so the local authorities got involved. Me and my sister luckily were placed together. I started going off the rails at the age of about 14, started smoking cannabis. When I got to 15, I was expelled from school altogether, and no other school would have me because of my behaviour. It was very bad at the time. So I had to go to what's called like a behaviour centre. And when I was there, I got involved with a rough group of people, and I was smoking cannabis all the time. My foster parents decided they couldn't have me, so I went to like a residential home for naughty children, which was on the other side of Birmingham in Bromsgrove. That was where I met Michael, who at the time he would have been 19 and I was 16. I got pregnant when I was 18 and I had Liam. Because of the situation I was in, Liam was also put into foster care, and now I haven't seen him. He would be 14 now, and I haven't seen him since he was a newborn baby. I still remained with Michael up until about 4 months ago, but the domestic violence was getting worse. He was drinking heavy, smoking a lot of cannabis, and he was taking his violence out on me. And one night I just had enough. I had a black eye, a cut lip. I didn't know where to go, so I went to the Salvation Army in Birmingham. They told me that unless I was willing to pay a deposit up front, they couldn't take me in. And since then, I've just been sleeping in Sutton Park in a tent, just getting by on donations off the public, which is embarrassing. I've only had one job, and that was in Greg's, the bakery. Yeah, I worked there, and that was only a Saturday job. Yeah, because I never felt like I was good enough to get a job because I've got no qualifications. Then when they look at your background, they see that you've been in care, and they see that like you've been kicked out of school, and nobody wants to like employ you then, you know. So they always say, have you got a CV? And when you've got nothing on your CV, that's when people say, well, I can't employ you. It's only been 6 weeks since I've been living like this, but you get used to it, and you just feel like there's no help out there, and you give up.
I think many people who are sleeping rough could probably imagine themselves being in a job. Some people that are out there, once they've become locked into the street lifestyle, I think it'd be very hard for them to take a job and hold it down. People who haven't been out there very long, they would definitely be able to work in a job, and I think if they could get one, they would. I guarantee you that in every town, village and city in our country, any drug you want is available whenever you want it.
came to Birmingham to live, couldn't find nowhere to live for a bit, and I was on the street for 7 years.
Basically, I went into care when I was about 12. Just constantly being naughty, wagging school, just being a naughty teenager really. My mum couldn't cope, she just had twins, 10 years after me, which is quite a long time really to have kids. So I kept threatening her I was going to go run away and stuff, so in the end she called social services on me. And so I remember 2 social workers coming down the step, I was only 12. They took me to care. I loved it really, the residential care home I was in. It was brilliant. Went into independent living and stuff. I got raped, and then my head went. I ended up on drugs. Went to prison. Just kept reoffending really, and I lost every flat I ever got given, or every hostel, every room, because I kept going to prison, and that's how I ended up homeless really. I would drink, he don't. We've got a couple of addictions going on, like, so we're trying to conquer one day at a time.
It's a gamble living on the street, that's bad enough.
Really. We had a lot of friends that have died as well. Between 20 and 40, I'd say. Yeah. Just having a couple of drugs of illegal high. No, not necessarily drugs, obviously. Yeah, obviously you die from different things, but a lot of people die accused drugs. And it's not always the case.
Well, it could be an infection from living off the streets.
It could be getting an infection from being on the streets.
Could be anything. So.
More times it's more about the hygiene and obviously getting infections and stuff. But a lot of the cases drugs, to be fair. I've never had a job in my life. I'm 35. Just people give us a chance, you know, because we've got criminal records and stuff. It's like, because we've got criminal records and we've been homeless, nobody wants to give you a chance.
So it's very difficult to understand the motivation of someone who chooses to use drugs and alcohol to excess. But it is definitely right that it's a part of the problem. And that's why the most successful programs for getting people to re-establish their lives have a support element to them.
My name's Jessica. 39. I turn 40 on the 10th of November, in 10 days' time. I'm currently homeless at the moment. This is not a life I would advise you to take. The reason why I became homeless is because I started work and they stopped my benefits, which means they stopped my housing benefits, which means I lost my house and I lost my job and ended up being homeless on the streets, sleeping on road. I'm getting every flu, cold, pneumonia, bug, psoriasis, impetigo, dermatitis, anything you can get your hands on. We're going to catch all of it out here because we're starving, freezing, sleeping in the rain, sleeping in dirty blankets, walking around with no shoes, hardly any clothes on. I've actually died from frostbite, starvation. I'm probably lucky to eat 2-3 times a week. Do you know what I mean? The amount of heart attacks I've had on road. During the Christmas period, I was having a heart attack at least twice a week, every week. They put me in a hostel, but then I got battered out of the hostel by the people in there, so I was too afraid to go home. So I'm back out on road again. So I was hoping the council would give me something a bit more security with a flat, do you know what I mean, with a proper lock on the door. But the waiting list for that is 2 years. Yeah, I could be dead in 2 years' time.
There are lots of vacant rooms in hostels. They don't prefer to sleep rough, but some of the environments in those hostels are not conducive to a good night's sleep, a restful sleep, and maybe that little phrase, prefer to sleep rough, is saying that we'll take our chances out here rather than our chances in there.
So this is a very interesting question, why hostels are sometimes shunned. And I think the first thing I should say about this is it's really harsh for hostels to have a bad name. I've visited a number of them in Birmingham, in Wolverhampton, in Coventry. And actually what I see is an incredible dedication from staff and really an effort to give good quality accommodation. And critically, this winter, we can say in all of the local authorities across the West Midlands that there is sufficient emergency provision that nobody needs to be sleeping rough. So the accommodation is there.
I'm going home, it's late at night, it's around about 11 o'clock-ish. I'm walking past this car park here, this one is, well, Fletcher's walking past there, Fletcher's walk. Yeah. Cars come zooming past, something's hit me in the face, I looked, I wasn't sure what happened at first, and then I looked, and then I felt a bit of eggshell. I just nearly collapsed on the floor, I nearly lost my balance, I managed to stop myself from falling, but I lost my balance and everything. I was working from 16 till about 18, doing these like various government training schemes in Europe. So I've ended up being homeless and then being on the street.
So of course there's too many rough sleepers in Birmingham and indeed in other towns and cities in the West Midlands. And so the causes of this are complex. So of course traditionally this was associated with relationship breakdown sometime. Increasingly in the West Midlands, the single biggest cause is people not being able to keep up with their tenancy payments. In Birmingham and Coventry, that's the biggest issue. And this is really where Housing First comes in. So what that's all about is saying to people who've been rough sleeping for some time, you'll be trusted. You'll be offered a home, a place of your own. It's not grand, let's make that clear. It's probably a room in shared accommodation, but it is a permanent address, place they can call their own. And from that place, they can rebuild their lives. And critically, they can have the support they need from whichever agency it might be. And hopefully, eventually, people can prepare for return to work, because that's the ultimate thing. And this Christmas, there are people moving into that new Housing First accommodation.
So finally, what do they need? Is it just accommodation?
They always say, have you got a CV? And when you've got nothing on your CV, that's when people say, well, I can't employ you. So how are you going to ever start off, really?
Someone's give me a chance, someone's give me a job.
Like I say, you've got to want to help yourself before anyone else can help you.
I was hoping the council would give me something a bit more security with a flat, do you know what I mean, with a proper lock on the door.